The life and sad ending of Jimmie Walker. Jimmie Walker was born James Carter Walker Jr. on June 25, 1947, in Brooklyn, New York, and raised in the Bronx, New York. He attended Theodore Roosevelt High School in New York City. Each of us in the world has a unique lifestyle, and in Jimmie Walker's situation, he has chosen to be an actor as his partner. He has no wife, no adoptive child. Perhaps he also remembers a bit when sick, illness and lack of care hand of the girl is a loss. The big failure that many people discuss: life will never stop. There are two types of people in this world who love Jimmie Walker and don't know who he is. He symbolized the 70s American dream of success, the former kid from the ghetto who rose to wisecracking TV superstardom. While in his element as the broadly strutting, gleamy-toothed J.J. Evans of the popular urban-style sitcom Good Times, Jimmie Walker lived the extremely good life. Following the series' demise, however, reality again checked in. Still and all, he has not self-destructed as others before he has, and continues to enjoy a comedy career now approaching 4 decades. His ambitions were not originally to entertain. Basketball was his prime interest, but the idea that a gawky, string-bean-framed teenager could become a hoop star did not seem realistic. Instead, he abruptly quit school and worked an odd assortment of jobs until wisely returning to night classes at Theodore Roosevelt High School and redeeming himself with a diploma. The federally funded search for education, evaluation, and knowledge next came through for Jimmie as he was able to learn a trade, radio engineering announcing. Within a year, he was hired as an engineer for a small radio station, but gained a minor reputation on the sly as a funny guy and good writer. This side interest is what motivated Jimmie to try comedy performance. He made his stand-up debut as an opening act on New Year's Eve in 1967 for The Last Poets, a militant poetry group, and was such a hit that he stayed with the group for a year and a half, building and polishing his jive-styled act. At one point, Jimmie was seen at a Manhattan club by comedian David Brenner, who referred him and others to Bud Friedman and his improv stage in New York. Jimmie eventually became a regular. His debut shot on TV Variety came with Jack Parr's show, and his successful 1972 appearance propelled him to main attraction billing. He was quickly checked out by the Norman Lear team and practically handed stardom on a silver platter with Good Times, a spin-off of Esther Roll's domestic character on the popular Maude series. Skinny, energetic, and youthful-looking with plenty of harmless sass and attitude, Jimmie and the show were instant crossover hits despite the fact that he was a 27-year-old playing the teenage son of Roel. His catchphrase, Dynomite, became a popular item in the American vernacular. Jimmie became such a major celebrity that Time magazine named him Comedian of the Decade. Clothing, belts, and even a talking doll that blurted out his familiar phrase were soon on the open market. To the dismay of other actors on the show, his exaggerated character stole prime focus and shifted the well-intentioned direction of a positive black family image into a much broader and stereotyped caricature. This caused dissension in the troops, and both adult leads, Ms. Roll and John Amos, departed the series. Nevertheless, the series managed to last 6 seasons. During that time, Jimmie made use of his ever-surging popularity with lightweight appearances elsewhere on primetime and on game shows. He became a hot item in Las Vegas and even churned out a best-selling comedy album entitled, of course, Dynomite. His attempt at film stardom came with a top supporting role in Let's Do It Again, starring Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, a comedy that also featured his TV dad, John Amos. Upon the series' demise in 1979, Jimmie returned to the stand-up stage while looking for a sophomore TV hit. Unable to capitalize on his TV stardom, he instead found himself extremely pigeonholed by the JJ character. The short-lived BAD Cats, which had him playing a support role as a comic car thief comb repossessor, lasted only a month. The military comedy At Ease had Jimmie starring as a Sergeant Bilko-like con man. It, too, came and went quickly. Hoping the third time would be a charm, Jimmie was a bust again in the syndicated show Bustin' Loose, based loosely on Richard Pryor's 1981 movie, with the comedian playing another of his genial con artists. Jimmie's main focus has remained the stand-up circuit, touring an average of 25 to 30 weeks a year. The rubbery-faced, tunnel-mouthed comic continues to pop up occasionally on the late-night talk show forum. In his spare time, he writes scripts for TV and films. In 2010, Walker made a cameo appearance in the movie Big Money Rustlers. In 2011, Walker appeared in a Sci-Fi Channel movie Super Shark. In 2012, Jimmie Walker's autobiography Dynomite, Good Times, Bad Times, Our Times, a memoir, was published. In 2012, Walker announced the release of his official app developed by Monty Goulet for iOS. Time takes everything but does not lose the loneliness of Jimmie Walker's old age. What he is doing is nostalgic of what was old. Life is an option, and the option is to live privately. But I also know a classic saying that living alone is not necessarily lonely. Being with many people but not knowing that you are alone is the scariest thing. Wishing everyone good health. Sincerely, thank you.